check this clip out. This is on the House floor, a guy talking about who sponsored the No Kings protest.
All these rallies are going to be led by the far left activists, and all will be calling on the Democrats to keep the government closed.
No, nobody's calling for the Democrats to keep the government closed. Literally nobody. Everybody wants the government to open. We just don't want to lose health care. Republicans control the House, the Senate, the judiciary, and the executive branch. What do you want from us? It's the right's problem, not the left.
And the Democrats in this body are beholden to every single one of these far left activist groups like, quote, #ResistTrump and American Atheists.
Oh boy, they're calling out American Atheists. Honestly, my wife is a lawyer for American Atheists and does not want, I certainly don't want, like, this massive national extremist movement targeted toward American atheists, but they were a sponsor of the No Kings protest, which I'm very proud of. This is on the Friendly Atheist website, friendlyatheist.com. Senator John Barrasso targets American atheists in bizarre smear of No Kings protests. During a speech on the Senate floor Thursday, Majority Whip John Barrasso lashed out against the No Kings rallies taking place today. So I guess this was this was October 18th when this came out. Like so many other Republicans, unable to live in reality, he falsely described the planned peaceful protests as an I Hate America rally. But in the middle of his speech, he called out one group in particular as leading the charge, American Atheists, which is absurd. Again, they were a sponsor. They were one of like many, first of all. And second, I just want to give you guys a little bit of hope here. The April 5th Hands Off protest had between 3 and 5 million protesters. That is a lot. That is a lot of protesters. The June 14th No Kings protest had 5 million people. That's insane. And October 18th No Kings, 7 million people. Holy Christ on a cracker, bro. That's nuts. That is the largest protest in U.S. history. What's more, between June and October, not only did they maintain the same number of protesters, they grew by a lot. That is impressive. That's incredible. That is a fantastically good sign. It means that there is massive political engagement and that it's not tapering off as time goes on. It's getting more substantial. Maintaining the same number of protesters for a protest is an uphill battle. It's nearly impossible. And they grew. The largest right-wing protest in the United States happened, I believe, in 2019. And they had about 350,000 people compared to 7 million people. It was a right-to-life, pro-life march or whatever. The runner-up was also in 2019 for the left, which is the Women's March. I believe they had 3.3 million protesters. Largest coordinated global protest on a single day. On February 15th, 2003, protesters gathered in nearly 600 cities worldwide in a coordinated effort against the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Wow, I did not know that. Between 6 and 10 million people participated globally, with some estimates suggesting 10 to 15 million, making this potentially the largest single-day protest in history. Major protests that day included 3 million from Rome, 1.5 million from Madrid, 750,000 and 2 million people from London. I'm sorry, between 750,000 and 2 million from London. The largest single-day protest in U.S. history was the No Kings protest. So we might have, depending on how it's measured, the No Kings protest, that might have beaten any protest in the entire world in world history ever, in how big it was. We're rivaling it at the very least as a single country, rivaling world protests. That is incredible. It should inspire hope. The people aren't putting up with this. I don't believe that there's any chance at all that Republicans are going to come out the other side in a free and fair election, even in a slightly rigged election. I don't think there's any way these people keep their seats. I think Democrats are going to absolutely sweep the board, even in a slightly rigged election. And I don't think Trump can do more than slightly rig it because it's run by the states. I think he's going to have a hard time fully rigging it.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
Anyway, let's keep reading here. This is news to me. I had no idea American Atheists had the kind of power over elected Democrats. Of course, that's because it's not true. Breaking news, Republicans lie. American Atheists isn't a far-left group. They're not leading the rallies, and I assure you Democrats are not beholden to them. If only atheists had that kind of political power. I actually went to D.C. and lobbied on behalf of American Atheists one time, long ago. It was for the Reason Rally. The Reason Rally, that's what it was. I believe in 2016, maybe? They held the Reason Rally there in D.C., and they had a lobbying day where we all went and visited our personal representatives and told them that they should recognize atheists as a legitimate voting bloc. Here's what probably happened. The website for the rally lists dozens and dozens of nonprofit groups who are considered partners. These are groups who simply support the mission of the march, which is to say this country does not belong to kings, dictators, or tyrants. It belongs to we the people who care, who show up, and the ones who fight for dignity, a life we can afford, and real opportunity. Partners include the ACLU, the American Humanist Association, Americans United for Separation of Church and State, and the Freedom from Religion Foundation, as well as much, much larger groups like Planned Parenthood and the Sierra Club. I'm not familiar with the Sierra Club. Oh, it's like an eco-friendly climate change organization, apparently. Largest and most influential grassroots environmental organization in the country. All right, cool. I'm in. They have no role in organizing, much less leading the marches. They just support the mission, that's all. So when Barrasso was fear-mongering and trying to scare Americans into thinking this is some kind of anti-American march, his staff probably went through and found the scariest names they could think of. And all they could find was a group that openly resists Trump, as if that's a bad thing, and the only group with atheists in the name. Yeah, American Atheist has a rough name to overcome, but, atheists need representation too. They could probably get a lot more influential if they changed their name, but I don't think that they need to, The Satanic Temple truly missed a golden opportunity here, right? I asked American Atheist President Nick Fish what he thought about getting called out, and he just laughed. He told me, the simple presence of atheists to some of these people is viewed as un-American. There's nothing more American than protesting our leaders and demanding better. Absolutely. In a more formal statement sent to me last night, American Atheists said, Senator Barrasso's attacks on the No Kings rally are shameful and un-American. Portraying American atheists as radical or extreme in an attempt to discredit one of the largest popular mobilizations of opposition to authoritarian abuses in history is transparent, unvarnished white Christian nationalism. Barrasso and his ilk are desperate to divide us and portray us as the other, but the people who are turning out and demanding better represent the best of what it means to be an American. People of conscience from all different faiths, including the non-religious, LGBTQ groups, environmental advocates, and veterans. That's who's showing up this weekend. There's nothing extreme about opposing the authoritarian overreach of the Trump administration, and the only thing that's dangerous or un-American is sitting silently while masked government thugs kidnap our neighbors off the street, criminalize basic health care for LGBTQ people, and attack those of us who would dare speak out. American Atheists is proud to stand in solidarity with the 250-plus No Kings partners, with organizers of the 2,500 rallies happening in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, and with the millions of Americans who are demanding better from our government. Dissent is not just patriotic, it is our duty. The first of these No Kings rallies occurred a few months ago. That was in June, and there's nothing scary about it. It was joyous and peaceful and funny, with attendees full of warranted anger against an out-of-control administration. I attended a local one and had a great time. And he has a sign that says, "Hey, Trump, nobody paid me to be here. I hate you for free." The fact that Republican leaders are now claiming these rallies are made up of unpatriotic traitors is absurd, considering the people attending include scientists, wine moms, grandmas, college students, and your goddamn neighbors. The point is that they're looking for any avenue they can take to demonize the protest, and they've decided to come after American atheists. It's a joke. It's sad. It's a sad joke. It's not a very funny joke. Disturbing, because I'm affiliated with that group. And I think, when Trump comes for the media more than he already is, which is absolutely on the horizon, I'm sure of it, I'm at risk. So is my wife. So is everybody in my circle. It's concerning stuff. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments.